Right, welcome back to the channel and to part 2 of my little review after 1,000 miles on the CL500. So let's get on. Right, today we're going down the lane as before, but we're going to turn left here. And go on a slightly different route than we did before. Thanks very much for all your comments on part 1. I'm sorry for the sound issues. I'm hoping that I've improved that today. And one of the interesting comments was about how good the bike would be probably in town situations as a commuter. And I must say I have to agree. So we're going to go through the forest in a little while. Wouldn't be right if we didn't go through the forest. But first of all, we're just going to pass through a little town that's around here and see what it's like. So, what makes a good town or city bike a commuter bike? Well, the first thing I'd say is just the basics. It needs to be reliable. I think this Honda ticks that, the CL500. It's bound to be, it's based on a very reliable platform, and I'm sure it'll be as reliable as any bike you could probably buy. Second, economy. Well, tick, as I've spoken to before. Let's have a look on the, yeah, we're back up to 94 to the gallon. So, it certainly ticks that box, I think. Maybe the other thing, the other basics could be, you could say, is service intervals. And maybe that's where it scores over certain other brands, which I won't mention, but service intervals on this are 8,000 miles. I've had the first service done, obviously. This is just 600 and now it's 8,000 miles. So I think it ticks on that box. And the other parts that you could come into the equation, I think, with all the other things we were talking about in part 1, the agility, a good riding, sat up riding position so you can see around traffic. I think would be really important. I'll be honest with you, I mean, I'm not a commuter, so I'm only assuming what a regular commuter would want from the bike, but I don't think it's too difficult to work it out, and that's where we're going today, Bewdley. We're going to go through Bewdley to see what a little bit of traffic's like with the CL500. It's hardly central London or central Birmingham or Manchester, but it'll give you some idea of moving through some traffic, because Bewdley is quite a congested little place, but absolutely beautiful. And if you haven't been here before, if you're in this area, I'd highly recommend you visit Bewdley. Sat on the River Severn. So yeah, we've got the first 30 mile an hour limit, and of course this bike, lightness, a great viewing position. I can see right over the top of the cars, as you can probably see on the camera. This upright position, I would say, is probably ideal for if you're commuting. And the flickability to be able to move through cars and get through tight spaces. Yep, I think the CL ticks all the boxes. As a quick aside, there's an SV there. Quick aside, Catcham's End fish and chips, if you do come to Bewdley, absolute must. best fish and chip shop? Well, probably in Britain. No, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but one of the very best fish and chip shops around. So we have to come up here and then go around the island due to the traffic regulations. But yeah, service intervals, I think that's pretty vital. If you're relying on your bike to get you to work every day, the last thing you need is to have it in their garage being serviced all the time. And I know certain other brands demand quite a lot of attention on that score. This is 8,000 mile service intervals on the CL, and I think the valve check is at 16,000. And I've got a little story about the valve check. I was talking to a chap who owned CB500X at the garage when I picked this up, and he'd done over 60,000 miles on this bike. He used to tour America and Europe, and he said to me that he'd never had the valve check done due to his how busy he was touring. And the first time that they actually checked the valves, the bike had done over 50,000 miles. And yeah, you've guessed it didn't need any adjustment. So just an apocryphal tale, but I think that might be relevant to the quality of the engineering that Honda put into their engines. And if you're using a bike to commute on a regular basis, it's just what you need, isn't it? Regular oil changes, of course, but the rest you can almost forget. So we're coming into Bewdley now. Real little tourist spot for everyone in this area. Famous, unfortunately, for flooding. You've probably seen it. If you're not local, you've probably seen it on your news. You remember it from when we had the floods, as we do at times in the UK, as we all know. Bewdley's often has live news broadcasts. Here it is. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, that river can be where we are now, this road, completely covered in water, amazingly. There we go. Let's give you a little look either side. There's some lovely little riverside cafes down there. But for this sort of work, when you're in traffic, this bike is fantastic. Gives you, as I said, gives you a fantastic view. You're not looking down. You can see all around you. So light, and yet it's got enough power, I would say, to pull away the lights when you need to, when you need that little bit extra. And as I said before, for a 500 it's really quite torquey. Yes, this is typical Bewdley. This is very tight roads, and when large lorries try to come through, problems arise. I'm steaming up a bit here. In fact, I'm steaming up a lot. I'm going to have to lift my visor, that's better. You can see the sort of issues we get here with traffic, and I wouldn't want to be on a really big, cumbersome bike at the moment. This has turned out quite well, isn't it, actually? Perfect example of what it's like trying to get through a city, even though this is far, far from a city. But that's it, yeah, I think it would make a fantastic little city bike if you're considering it for that purpose. Ticks all the boxes. But now, as is my preference, let's get back out into the countryside again. I'm not a big traffic fan. And once again we're going through the wire forest. Now, the purpose of the journey today, very specifically, is if you remember the bike cafe that we went to on part 1, or we went past on part 1, that is actually going to close on Mondays. Aid and Karen, who run it, have finally decided they need a break, and I don't blame them. So they're going to close on Monday. So me and the lads from the cafe, or some of them, have decided we need another place to meet up. So we're going to try out, there's another place with a K. We've got Kidderminster and we've got Kinver so far. This is Kinlet that we're going to go to. And Kinlet is out in some beautiful countryside along this road here. Unfortunately, we've got a huge wagon in front of us, but so we're not going to be doing any particular fast speeds, are we? It's a bit of a potter today by the look of it. And yeah, we're going to go to Kinlet because there is a cafe there by all accounts. It's a place I've been to on numerous occasions, but I didn't know there was a cafe there. But apparently the what used to be the village hall is now a cafe. And we've just been in Worcestershire, of course, and we're just leaving over the border again to Shropshire. And once again, we were talking about powerful bikes last time, and speed, and is the CL fast enough, and look at that. Well, these sort of roads, the roads that I go on, you've got to enjoy the ride at 30-40 miles an hour. It's no good just enjoying it when you get above 80, because you very rarely will. Because the reality, once again, and this is a Monday morning as I'm filming this, the reality is big lorry, stream of traffic, 37 miles an hour. It's rather nice. Got a lovely new fence. The other thing I was going to mention actually was a general point, and that is test riding a bike if you're going to buy one. If you're an experienced rider, you don't need me to tell you this, but if you are a newbie, what we got there? Oh, a little SV. If you are a newbie and you're thinking of buying the CL, and maybe it's your first big bike, as we said last time, as we go around these bends, the importance of a test ride. I was talking to the dealer, and he was telling me that many people now never test ride a bike before they buy it. They order it offline. They've barely even sat on it, and even if they've made the effort to come into the showroom and sit on the bike and have a look at it in the flesh, they then say, yep, I've sat on it, I like it, I can see the specs, that'll do for me. And I suppose in the Amazon generation, where people just order everything offline, I can understand it, but the one bit of advice I would give for what it's worth is please test ride a bike before you buy it. If you possibly can, have a test ride, because specs just don't tell the story of the way a bike rides and how it really fits you. They really don't. I mean, if you were buying a pair of shoes, it's not an exact analogy, but if you were buying a pair of shoes, would you try them on before you bought them? Of course you would. So why on earth would you not try a bike for size when you're spending thousands upon thousands of pounds? I know it's not as easy as it was to get test rides, and they're very strictly an hour now, it seems, everywhere. I remember a time where I took a bike out, booked it, and they just said, yeah, just carry on. There's nobody else wanted it this morning, so just have it for the morning. I don't think that happens much anymore. I think insurance, well, they blame it on insurance, don't they? Right, well, the lorry's gone, but now we've got a Range Rover. Thank you for slowing down. So here we are. This is again another part of the Wye Forest. And I had a chap commenting on the beautiful countryside around here. Appreciate it very much. He was actually from Saxony in Germany. So many thanks for him for commenting. And I will try and I'll endeavour to show some of the countryside around here. If you ever think of visiting the area, there's some great roads, and it's a beautiful place to live. I mean, look at that. How gorgeous. And hopefully we've got no suicidal squirrels like we did the first time round. Be more likely to get suicidal deer out here. I know somebody who wrote their car off along this road, hitting a deer at night time. But hopefully we won't get any of that problem today. So we're not far away now from Kinley. This has been a short one. We'll see if the lads are there. We're a little bit early actually, so I might be the first to arrive. So I'll endeavour to do some filming on the way back, and we'll go back a different way. But these sort of lanes that you're seeing here, this is typical really of the area, Worcestershire, Shropshire. Hey, we're free. We're free. But we've got the bends. So here we go. Kinlet should be right down here. Ah, the Cabin Cafe. There it is. It's advertised. 8 till 2, 7 days. No HGVs. Obviously some beautiful views on this bit of road here. Look at that. How gorgeous. I must concentrate on the road. And again, these are the sort of lanes that I think this bike is so well suited to. It's just fantastic. It soaks up all the bumps and irregularities that you get on these sort of roads from farm equipment that come along and rut it. Just soaks them up. It's one of the smoothest bikes. In fact, I can't remember anything cope with the bumps as well since I had my Tiger, the Tiger 800, which is a full-on adventure bike. This soaks the bumps up, I'd say almost or as well as that. So here we go. I think the place is here. Yes, it is indeed. Let's see if there's anyone here. Oh, there is. There's Steve. Oh, and oh, Norman's here as well. Oh, this looks very nice, doesn't it? How lovely. Shall I park right outside the front? Yes, I will. Steve's there. That's Norman on his GSX 1400. Oh, what beautiful views. Oh, this'll do. This will do. So there we are. I'll probably leave you just now. There's Steve. And I'll see you again on the way back. I'm going to go and get a nice pot of tea.